Welcome to a new episode of La Oficina de Juegos.
Today we're going to do the review of Hostil Hostal, the new game of Azahar Juegos. This game is about sleep. We are tourist guides and we need to make our tourists to rest good in the night, and we need to avoid the bad cards, the rats, the werewolf, and
some party guests, some also there's one dancer, so of course you don't like to have a dancer above you because the roof is then with a lot of noise all the time, and more other things that you will have to discover in the game. About Hostil Hostal and Azahar Juegos, well, we have done a couple of videos before about Azahar Juegos regarding Tachyon and some other games. They have been creating already some Colombian games like Tachyon, Focus, Guatavita, Sanadu, and many others that you can check on their webpage. Regarding this game, well, this is also a Colombian game. The game is for 13 plus, is from 2 to 5 players, and the game time is about 60 minutes.
about the design of the game, this game is really thematic about sleep, hostel. For example, you are going to find in the game cards, for example this one with a pill for sweet dreams, or I don't know, I like one about a cozy,
like the blanket from your grandma?
The blanket. This blanket to have a good sleep and to feel warm in the hostel. So this game is designed by Oscar Arevalo, Laura Rubio, Natalia Bedoya, and Viviana Macha. If you see in the box, you will find rats and an environment a little scary, maybe, and that's perfect for the thematic of the game. Also, I love these little pieces. I love that all the components of the game are about sleep, about hostel. So, for example, this is the point counter of the players, and is a cloud, a little cloud.
So, what is the game about? So, as the name says, it's Hostil Hostal, and as Jenny already mentioned, we are tourist guides that got trapped in a really bad weather, and we have to stay in Hostil Hostal. Our tourist wants to have a good sleep, but it's not going to be easy because all the other tourist guides wants to make us have a bad night and to be them the best tourist guides in order to win the game. So how does the game work? Well, there are 4 rounds, and in each round we can do one of these actions. The first one is to put our tourists, that is the meeples, to put them in beds. So we create first the Hostil Hostal depending on the number of players. Then we have 5 rooms, 4 rooms, 2 floors, and with that we can put our meeple in one of the beds. Depending on the total number of the room, we will get some sleeping points. It can be minus sleeping points or plus sleeping points. So it really depends on not only what do you play, but what other players do with that room. Maybe you're counting on a +4, but one person puts their meeple in that bed, and then now the room is 0 or -1 or something like that. The other action that you can do is that you have action cards, the ones that Jenny was showing. So for example, the blanket that helps you to sleep better, or for example the smelly feet that I saw over here. Okay, there's a smelly feet where of course the people that are right beside you are not going to sleep well because the smell is really bad.
I think it's this one.
Yeah, the sniff one.
Sniff.
So as you can see, the socks looks really bad, and with those ones then you will affect also other players' scores, or maybe you can improve yours, and depending on that also you will have like a better result at the end of each round. The other action that you can do is move your meeples from one room to another, because maybe now you know that that room is not so good, or maybe you want to move them so the ones that stay there have minus points at the end of each round. Well, it depends all in the strategy. And the last thing that you can do is to spy the cards that all the players have put in one room. So you can choose, okay, I want to see what Jenny put in this specific room. You check the cards that she put downside, and then you can try like a new strategy to maybe move the meeples, or maybe put some meeples there because you're going to score some points. Finally, when all the players have done their actions, the room will get downgraded, because of course if there are many people there, then everybody will make the room dirty, or will have some hairs all over the floor. So you will have a dice where it shows how good is the room. So each person will roll the dice, and depending on that they will lose some sleeping points. It's always a bad thing to have downgraded the room, of course. At the end of the game, whichever has sleep better will be the best tourist guide and will win the game.
One of the best things of the game is that you don't know which card put downside the other players. So that make you a little surprised when you discover the cards, and maybe your strategy fail because you believe you want to put the meeple in one room, and maybe other player change that meeple to other bed, or play a bad card in that room. So it's a very excited game.
What are the extra things that you would like to find in the game? Well, mainly two things. The first one is the solo mode, because as you know, this one is right now really trendy because of the pandemic. So many people want the solo mode. This one right now doesn't have it, but for example, for two players, there is already like an extra player that is being played by the game. So we think that to put that also in solo mode just for one player, it's not going to be really hard. The second one is that when the room gets downgraded, we have one card. Let me check for it. The card is
Mr. Tools.
Mr. Tools.
Here.
Okay, thank you. So we have a Mr. Tools, and this Mr. Tools is like the handyman. So this one can fix your room and make it to have like a better number when the downgraded is happening. But it's the only card that we have in the game. We think that maybe there could be more cards, not only Mr. Tools, but other cards that help you with that downgraded, even to make it worse or to make better the whole number of the room.
Finally, we want to point out 3 things about this game. First one, the design. As I told you, the design is about a hostel, about sleeping, and all the components of the game are related to that thematic. But I love the rooms. The rooms, as you see in this one, has beds and a carpet in here, but also has a lot of objects that give the room a special character, a special personality, if you could say that. For example, in this case, Azahar Juegos hide 2 games, Guatavita in here and Sanadu, 2 games by Azahar Juegos. And in the other side you could see a different room. This room is maybe for a kid, I think. You could see toys and also a magician hat, and I think all the rooms has special things that you could discover. If you want to know the other rooms, go to the Kickstarter and support this game.
Second one. We really like that this game, in this game you can do a lot of things. First one, for example, is that you have to do math. So, as you can see in the rooms, there's a +1, -1, -2, and depending on where you put your meeples, then the overall number of the room will be different. That's an important thing, that you have to always be attentive of what are your competitors doing, if they change their meeple from room to room, or if they put one meeple in a specific bed that you needed. That is something that you need to do. Also, you have cards, the cards that we already told you about, or you can make them lose some sleeping points, or you can win some sleeping points. The cards are always put downside, so there's also that specific thing that you don't know what card is coming. Also you have dices, so sometimes you have to roll the dices, or you have to take care of the downgrade of the room. So there's a lot of things to do, and there's a lot of things included in the game, so we really like that you can do many things.
And third one. This game is easy to learn. Azahar Juegos make an effort to do a rule book very clear, step by step, so you could you can start your play and read the rule book. And this is a rule book for the players that play a lot, and maybe the players that are looking for a simple game and want to play with all the family.
Well, this was our review for Hostil Hostal. We hope you like it. If you want to see more videos about this game or other board games, don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, and see you in the next video.
Going to the Kickstarter to support this game. Bye!
Bye!